welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Minutia. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and today I'm doing the Do I Have That Other Book tag. So I did the Do I Have That Book tag probably about a year ago, and basically it has, I think, like 20 prompts or something like that of different books, and you have to go find and see if you have one of those books on your shelves. So I had so much fun doing that I decided I wanted to do I almost want to say sequel tag. Sequel's like a weird word for it, but it's a book channel, so sequel was what came to mind. But it's by the same creator, which is Keeping Tabs, and she did the second tag with more prompts to see if you have those books on your shelves. So I'm excited about this. I think it's gonna be fun. It's like I'm playing a game. So I have not thought about these prompts beforehand. I have not gathered the books, so this will literally just be me searching to see what I can find. So the first question is, do you have a book with a fox on the cover or as part of the plot? And I do. I actually have a book that immediately came to mind. So I have Pax by Sarah Pennypacker, and this book not only has a fox on the cover, but the plot does primarily center around a fox who was raised by a young boy, and then they get separated and there's a war going on at the same time. So it looks like this cutesy sweet book, but is actually very emotionally intense and deals heavily with the effects of war, but it's really great. It's a middle grade, which is why I thought of it immediately, because it's middle grade March. And I just did like a recommendations video, like a short, not that long ago, that had this in it. So I thought of it right away. Okay, question number 2 is, do you have a book that was published the year you were born or within a 3-year radius? And I think I do, because I think I have a book last year for middle grade March. One of the prompts was to read a book in the decade that you were born, and I do own that book, so I'm gonna see if it's close. So the book I was thinking of is The Sign of the Beaver by Elizabeth George Speer, and I read this last year for middle grade March. And so I know it was published in the 80s. My birth year is 1988, so I don't know if it's exactly that. Oh, it's 1983, so that's not within 3 years. I'm gonna have to keep looking. This is so much harder than I thought. I'm still looking. I found The Hero and the Crown by Robert McKinley. This is 1984, so it's still 4 years off. Oh my gosh. I'm having a hard time. Okay, I'm editing this, so you have no idea how much time has elapsed, but it's been a really long time, like over 5 minutes, that I've been looking through my books. I found This Present Darkness by Frank Peretti, or no, this is Piercing the Darkness, which is closer to my birth year. So I have both of these books. They're Christian fiction. This Present Darkness was published in 1986, which does fit because it's within 2 years, but this one was published in 1989. So yes, finally. I've been filming for 11 minutes and have only done 2 prompts so far. We'll see how this goes. I'm glad I'm not like timing myself and trying to go like as fast as I can. Otherwise, it would be sad. Prompt number 3 is, do you have a book with music as a weapon or magic? What immediately comes to mind is The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu, but I do not own that. So I'll have to see if I have something. It feels like very middle grade-y. Echo by Pam Munoz Ryan would work too, but I don't own that one either. I don't think I have anything for that, unfortunately. So I think I'm gonna have to skip that prompt. I do have some fantasy books I haven't read, and maybe does Stormlight Archive have music in it? I don't know, because I haven't read that yet, but I do own those books. So I don't know. I don't know anything about that book or the magic system or anything. So I don't know. Prompt number 4 is, do you have a series with mismatched covers? Definitely. Actually, right behind me is a perfect example. Move these. So I have Anne of Green Gables, and I started purchasing the series in this cover because I really like it. But the weird part is they only had 6 books in this edition. for some reason there are 8 books in the Anne of Green Gables series. So I had to buy 2 of them in the Tundra edition, which are really gorgeous as well. But I kind of like these ones a little better. So, I mean, they're the same size when they're on the shelf, so at least that's fine. But yeah, they don't match. Question number 5 is, do you have a book with a shapeshifter? Maybe. I don't have any like modern fiction that has that, like any fantasy, I don't think. So I don't know if this counts, but does The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde count? I mean, it's not really totally a shapeshifter, but like, kind of. Question number 6 is, do you have a book that was signed by the author? And I do, and I got it from a thrift store, and I discovered it accidentally. So hang on. So I got this for, I don't know exactly how much. I got it from the Goodwill outlet where they charge you like by the inch. So it's like 25 cents an inch, and this is less than an inch. So I know I paid less than 25 cents for this book, but it's Julie of the Woods by Jean Craighead George. And last summer I was doing the quick to judge tag, trying to figure out like a book I'd owned for more than a year that I was gonna read. And I opened this up to read the first paragraph, and she signed it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, my name's not Ryan, but you know, still really cool. Prompt number 7 is, do you have a book with a mostly red cover? Probably. Let me check. This spine right here is red. The cover is not very red though. So the first thing I've learned from this prompt is that a lot of books have red spines, but not that much red on the cover. We're going with this one. This is Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan. This is a thrifted copy of this, and it is just so very pretty. Question number 8 is, do you have a book between 287 and 306 pages? I'm sure I do, but this is another one of those that I don't know how long this is going to take me to find one. Maybe I'll get lucky on the first try. Who knows?
Nope, 178. What was it? 287. Let's try some flannery. Oh, close. 269. That's 345. Emily of Deep Valley.
Yes, Emily of Deep Valley, 290. Question number 9 is, do you have a book with a main character who wears glasses? Probably. I feel like that might be easier to find with middle grade because you can kind of see right on the cover. I feel like that's a little more prevalent. Here we go. It was the second one I picked out. Frindle by Andrew Clements. This is a really short and really fun middle grade. I read this to my daughter at the beginning of school last year, and it's just really fun. The next question is, do you have a book with a title that has the same number of letters as your first name? So my name is Tiffany, and that is 7 letters. So let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Passing by Nella Larson. I like double counted it just to make sure. So I haven't read this one yet actually, and it is about like a Black woman who can pass for white, and I've really wanted to read this for a while. It's pretty short, so hopefully I can get to it at some point in the near future. I have a couple I've been much faster on, which makes up for that one that was forever long. Number 11 is a book with cybercrime or technology as a plot point. I don't know. We'll see. So this is not cybercrime, but it is technology, because when I think of that, I think of sci-fi. And I own very few sci-fi because I'm just not a huge sci-fi person a lot of the times. Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton has a lot of technology in it, so I think that would count. Number 12 is a book translated into English. I actually have a ton of that because I have a lot of like Russian classic literature, French classic literature. I was gonna go with Crime and Punishment because that's always what I choose. It's one of my all-time favorites, but I figured I'd choose something different this time. Brothers Karamazov, also by Dostoevsky. Such a good one. More of a brick than Crime and Punishment is. Okay, number 13 is a book that was written by an Asian author. Actually just read quite a few of these for Readathon, but maybe I should mix it up a little. This is one that I haven't even had in a haul video yet because I've had for such a short amount of time, and that's The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. I have not read this yet, but I read The Kitchen God's Wife last year, I think. And a lot of you said that if I liked that one, I'd probably love this one because you liked it so much more than The Kitchen God's Wife. So yeah, Amy Tan counts. She is Chinese. The next question is, do you have a book with a moon on the cover? Yeah, I think so. The one I was thinking of only has stars, so I gotta keep looking. Ha! The Thief Lord by Cornelia Funke. There is indeed a moon. It's small. It's also on the spine, which made it easier for me to find. Question number 15 is, do you have an illustrated children's book? Why, yes, I have very many. I have a lot of picture books. My daughter has a lot in her room, but I do have like some of the more classic picture books in this room on like other shelves that you don't see in these videos. I decided to choose one of my favorite author illustrators. That's Robert Mccloskey. So this is actually like a collection of his books, but this is Make Way for Ducklings. I love his illustrations so much and his stories. And Blueberries for Sal is another very popular one. Lentils are really fun too. I love Robert Mccloskey. Question number 16 is, do you have a collection of fairy tales or myths? I have quite a few of those as well. We'll go with this one. My husband's grandmother gave this to us, and it's the complete collection of Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales. And I just love this edition. It's killed him. It's got the bookmarker and everything. I have not read all of these, but I have read a few of them. Hans Christian Andersen was pretty dark, and I know that original fairy tales are pretty dark, but my gracious, like the original Little Mermaid, it's kind of dark. Question number 17 is, do you have a sci-fi or fantasy book with an alliance between races? And you can probably even see it from here. Lord of the Rings. Fellowship of the Ring is in another room right now because we're about to start reading that together as a family, but Lord of the Rings is what immediately comes to mind. Question number 18 is a book with a narrow front cover, meaning that the cover is shorter than the rest of the book. I'm pretty sure that that is actually called a step back. And I know that I probably have some, but it might take me a little bit to find because I can't think of which ones are right off the top of my head. Or maybe not. It was the first book I grabbed. Sweep by Jonathan Auxier is a step back. So it's got like that little space there. Question number 19 is, do you have a book that has the first chapter of the sequel at the end of the book? I feel like that's kind of common in middle grade, so I probably do. So, All the Wrong Questions by Lemony Snicket. This is book 1, Who Could This Be at That Hour? And has a chapter from the next book, When Did You See Her Last? And the last question is, do you have a book that has a broken spine? I'm very sad to tell you that yes, indeed, I do. I try really hard not to break spines, but with mass market paperbacks, sometimes it's like kind of impossible because you can't like open the book all the way and see all the pages. So that's why I prefer floppy paperbacks, because then you don't have to break the spine. But I do indeed have some books with broken spines. These are prime examples. Every single one of Keeper of the Lost City books that are paperbacks all have broken spines for my daughter reading them because she had to open them farther to see it all. There's not very big margins in mass market paperbacks. There is a bonus question that says, do you have a book that covers 3 or more prompts? So let me see if I do. I do, I found one. Okay. This cover is predominantly red. It has a broken spine. There is a chapter of the next book in the background, and this was translated from German into English. So that is 4 prompts. So yay! This video took a lot longer to film than I anticipated. If you have a booktube channel, I would love to see you do this. Or if you have done this, link your video down below so I can go watch it. But yeah, this was really, some of them were really hard and some of them I never did find. I don't think I have any books that have music used as a magic or a weapon, unfortunately. That's really cool though. If you know of books that have that, other than The Kingdom of Back, I would love to hear that because that sounds like really, really interesting for a plot. But it also sounds like very niche, like it would be hard to find books that have that. But maybe there are more of them than I realize. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and also subscribe so you can continue to see more bookish content from me. And I will see you again next time.